Let's take a look at the OHDOT Balloon application. So I'm in the OHDOT workflow on the Apps tab in the Plan Preparation group. I see the OHDOT Balloon application. So I'll go ahead and open the application, and what I'm going to do is just put in a couple of balloon references for a couple of removal items. So there's a dry well here that's going to be removed. There's a mailbox over here. So first of all, I'm going to put in my reference for that. So this is going to be a DW, and it's my first one. So DW1. I can place this as a solid or dashed item, circle or elliptical for my balloon itself. If I want to reverse the order of the reference and the number, put the number first, I can check that on. In this case, I'm not doing that. I can have it insert a dash between the reference and the number. Auto increment will increment the numbers as these balloons are placed, and I do want to place a leader line. And the line terminator will allow me to put an arrowhead on the end of the leader line if I wanted to. So let's go ahead and place this in the file. So I'll pick the place option, and it's going to drag on my cursor. This is using the active text style. So you want to keep that in mind, that you want to set your text style before you place the balloon, and also your intended annotation scale. So I'm at a 20 scale plan here. So that's already been set. The other thing you want to think about is the level this is going to be placed on. So if I look at the Home tab, I can see I'm on level default. So I'm going to change that to the sheet text level. So I'll just scroll down in the S groups and set sheet text as my active level. I'm going to go ahead and change this to elliptical so you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to place that and have it just point to my dry well, and then it automatically increments. If I had another reference of that type, I could go ahead and place that in the file and point to that. Okay, so these are placed as a graphic group. So if I look at my locks down here and turn on graphic group lock, I can delete that as a group. There's also a modify button here. If I wanted to move that, I can just pick this and move it to wherever I want. So it's going to keep the same ending point for my terminator, and it's going to adjust that terminator so it's perpendicular to my balloon itself. So that's the plan view mode. Let's take a look at the typical section mode. So I have a typical section sheet open. So let's take a look at this in the typical sections mode. So I'm going to just get my reference number here for my first pavement item, and I do want it to draw the pavement layer marker. So what it's going to do in this case is find the two lines representing this pavement layer and just put in a little box in there. And I'm not going to use the terminator, and these can be solid or dashed. So I'm going to pick the place command, and I'm just going to give a data point between these two lines representing my pavement layer. It's going to go and fill that with a little shape, and as soon as it catches up here, it's going to drag on the cursor, and I can place that in the file. So it's going to automatically increment to the next number, and I'm going to give another data point between two lines, and then go ahead and add that to the file. So I can continue on and easily put each of these in the file. And there's another option here if I don't want the pavement layer marker. So this might be useful for where I'm pointing to the bottom of a layer. So I'll go ahead and hit place, and I'm going to give a data point on the line and just bring that in, and it's just pointing to that bottom of that pavement layer. So that's just a quick overview of this application and how it's intended to work. And you do need to be careful to select your level and select your text style before you start placing the balloons. If you have any questions or problems with the application, just contact the Office of CAD and Mapping Services.